So the grip is extremely crucial in the golf swing, often overlooked. And the way we put our hands on the club directly influences the club face angle. And particularly if our grip produces a club face that would be open to the right at impact or extremely closed to the left, we then have to compensate to try to make the ball go to the target. So let's go through a couple key checkpoints that are going to give you a really good grip and help to start with a square club face in your golf swing. It's one less variable we don't want to have to worry about. So a square club face is called square because this bottom edge of the club, the leading edge, when you place it down to the ground, it's going to be perpendicular to the target. So the club face is looking straight to the target, and you can see how that leading edge, if I'm hitting directly sideways, that club face, that leading edge is square, or if I had a grip that promoted the club face being left or right, I'm going to be in trouble. So let's talk about the way we're going to place our hands on the club that will, in most instances, promote a really square club face. And if anything, as a side note, if anything, I teach a grip that's maybe just slightly on the strong side, meaning the hands are turned a little more to the right, which promotes a square face, or slightly left, which helps to promote a little bit of a draw, a right to left pattern. And we know science shows us that that shot pattern for most golfers, even us club professionals, is very advantageous. So as we begin, we want to make sure that the club face is square, whether we hold the club up in front of us or whether we place the club down on the ground. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that our palm, our left palm, is facing down slightly towards the ground, or what I like to say, towards your inner right thigh, or if you're a lefty, your trail thigh, your left thigh. But we'll do this mostly from a right-handed perspective. So the palm is facing down, and you can see that it's facing down. So I can see more of the logo on my glove, or the top of the glove, and a couple knuckles. You want to see at least 2 knuckles. So it's palm down, club very much in the fingers, and then the thumb is gently off to the side. So it should have a look like that. And then the right hand comes in from the side or slightly from underneath. So the palm should face the target or just gently towards the sky. And then we just connect the left thumb and the right palm. And then again, I grasp the club very much in the fingers of the right hand. So it's palm down, in the fingers, thumb on the side, and then palm to the target, left thumb, right palm together, and then you can really grip the club in your fingers. And whether you use an interlocking grip like I use, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods use an interlock, or an overlap, which is very popular on both professional tours, the men and the ladies. As long as your hands are unified, that's the key. We don't want to, some of the things that I see is people have their left index finger down the shaft too much, or there's a lot of space between their fingers when they grip the club. You want to have those fingers stacked up next to each other without inducing tension, okay? And then you want to bring the right hand in and make sure that those fingers are stacked up and pretty close together and that both hands are unified. So when we get the club in the fingers, that allows us to really control the club in our hands without having to be tense and rigid in the forearms, because tension is really the #1 killer in the golf swing. So I always think of the analogy, if we were going to have a tug of war with a rope or with this golf club, well, if I'm going to try to win that tug of war, or if you are from your perspective, you're going to really grasp the rope or the club in your fingers. If we grasp the club in the palms, you would rip, you'd pull that rope right out of my hand. So if we can grip the club in the fingers, now I have supreme control of the club face without having to squeeze the club tight. So those are some things that I really want you to monitor with your grip. palm down in the fingers, thumb on the side, right hand comes in from the side, hands unified, fingers stacked together, and a medium grip pressure, what I would call maybe a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, a medium soft grip pressure. And that's going to set you well on your way. Again, at the end of the day, it's all about managing the club face to promote good swing path and good impact dynamics. If we have a grip that promotes an open face at impact or a severely closed face, all that is an open invitation to start to compensate, to try to manipulate the ball to the target.